in the LPL, they didn't give the chances to the youngsters. And this is the biggest problem why we haven't found a power hitter yet. We didn't try Lahiru Samarakon, we didn't try out lot of other players I think that we haven't tried out.
And they all got chances here and there. I think Nuwanidu got chances here and there.
Pawan Ratnaika got a chance, but then as Adil pointed out in the previous video, I think Chaturanga De Silva got promoted ahead of Pawan Ratnaik in the crucial match in that eliminator when Pawan Ratnaik had a very good, had a good innings back then. And then even the last domestic match or whatever, he scored 100. As just seeing stats or whatever, he's been performing well. But then no consideration to either, at least in the T20I squad, they only brought in Chamindu from the LPL. So, Adil, your thoughts? Because, yes, we are going back to experience, but now they said they're moving on from Matthews. Now people are saying to bring Matthews back. So, I don't know what's going on social media saying to bring in Matthews back, bring in Chandimal back, but then middle order is not performing still, Chanaka is not. So what's the solution? I mean, we have Lahiru Samarakon, Lahiru Madhushankar, Pawan Ratnaik. I don't know. There's so many options that they have in the middle order, but they're not bringing any of these players when the other middle order is bringing on. So your thoughts on that, Adil?
So let's start with the problem we have in the national team. So our biggest problem are number 5, 6, 7, right? So none of the players whose names that we discussed right now are designated 5, 6, 7 players. So Nuwanidu, Pawan, Nikundanand, even Chandimal for that matter, are all top order players, right? They'll bat at the top 4. Cruz Pulle, you say whatever name, they are all top 4 batters.
Yeah.
And you talk about Lahiru Samarakon. Lahiru Madhushankar is not young anymore, but still okay. Lahiru Madhushankar, Lahiru Samarakon, who else? All those players are bowling all-round. I mean, mostly bowling all-rounders. Lahiru Samarakon particularly. So he'll bat at number 8 for you.
But he can bat a bit in domestic. We've seen him performing sometimes because the thing is we are not having batting all-rounders. This is the problem that we're having in the
Lahiru Samarakon is not batting all-rounder. Lahiru Samarakon is not a batting all-rounder. He's a bowling all-rounder who can bat at number 8 and at most at 7.
So that's the thing. I mean, we don't have batting all-rounders. That's the thing. Like Chamika is also, I think, a bowling all-round. If I'm not mistaken, he can bat a bit. But the thing is that we are not
bowling all-rounder.
Yeah, that's the thing. So we are not having batting all-rounders in the domestic system. So that's a huge concern, I would feel, because we need a batting all-round who can replace Dasun Shanak at the moment. Because Dasun Shanak is not performing at all. We are not having a replacement for him. And then we are bringing in.
I think Chamindu Wickramasinghe is the replacement at this point. So
but then he's still playing at number 8. That's why I don't understand.
No. That's not his position. That's just this T20. This T20 they just played around with the batting order, and that's not his position anyway. If that game went normally, and if our usual batting order went in that game, he would have batted at number 6. At worst case, he would have batted at 7. I don't think he was slotted to bat at number 8 in that game. It just happened because they wanted to promote Manindu and Ramesh Mendis to keep that right and left hand combination. So Chamindu's position is definitely not number 8. At this point for in T20 cricket, Chamindu's position. Chamindu is the replacement for Dasun Chanaka. But what happens if Chamindu fails? Who is the backup for Chamindu Wickramasinghe? That we still don't have, as you correctly said, not even in domestic cricket. We have some options. I'm talking about number 5, 6, 7, right? Not top 4, not bowling all-round. Let's forget all-round options. Let's look at batters who can bat at 5, 6, 7. Banu Rajapaksa is the only name that comes to my mind, but he's also now approaching the end of his career, around 31, 32. Okay, yes, I think he's still in their plans. He might get a go in that position, Banu Rajapaksa. And apart from that, there aren't much. I don't think they'll push players like Pawan Ratnaik or even Janit Liyanagi. I don't think he can bat at T20 cricket at 5, 6, 7. Maybe in ODI is not in T20 cricket.
Yes, ODI is a very solid position. He's batting at number 6, no? Yeah, he's batting at number 6.
Janit Liyanagi has been performing well in ODIs, I think, but in T20 he has improved much.
Yeah, I don't think he can bat at 5, 6, 7. So we don't have players, to be honest, who can bat at 5, 6, 7 in T20.
But I think we can.
Yeah.
Even I was about to say that Charith Asalanga is also number 5, but you don't because we are keeping at number 5 because we don't have any other option. Maybe
exactly
one. Yeah. So I mean, as you said, I also like give it a thought about the names. Perhaps I mean this is a very wild thing. Perhaps we might give Ashen Bandara some chances because he did in the one match he played well against Afghanistan. Maybe give him. Because the problem now we have, the current batting order, it's like it's a good headache to have. We have too much left-handers. See Kusal Jani, then Chamindu Mendy, Charith Asalanga, then Chamindu. It's like we are stacked up lefties, right? We are stacked up lefties. Maybe to split them. Yeah, Banu Rajapaksa comes in the lefty. So maybe to split them, maybe give Ashen Bandara a small chance and see. Because I mean, he has performed well and he's a good fielder. At least he will save you like 10 runs.
Yeah. So even Ashen Bandara, yes, but okay. Talking about Ashen Bandara is a specialist now, a middle order batter. He has batted in the middle order 5, 6, 7 positions all his career since school. So he's a specialist batter. But does he have the power to bat in play international T20 cricket against top sides?
That's a big question mark.
Big question. I've not seen him.
And whether he's a power hitter also. I'm not seeing him being a power hitter in the middle order. He's like sort of a conservative batter, according to me.
More than conservative, he can rotate the strike. He can bat at a strike rate of around 100 at max 110 or something. But he's 110 or even at least he's 120 the strike rate he wants from a number 5 T20 at this point, because we are comparing with number 5s like David Miller, Henrik Larsson. Let's talk, if we go to India, it's like Hardik Pandya. So all are big hitters. If you talk about see Australia, it's Marcus Stoinis, Steve David. So we have no one who can even come close to that level. Ashen Bandara is the only like specialist middle order, but he's far behind the international standards of middle order power hitting. Yes, we don't have a lot of options. The only player that I am actually eyeing come good. He has a lot of time. He needs a lot of time. He's Movin Subasinghe. Unfortunately, he didn't get a LPL contract. He was not picked in the auction. He has not done much in domestic cricket as well. Unfortunately, even though I backed him, he has the power. He has to work a lot, and he's probably. And okay, let me.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but don't you think Dunit Velalage is a good option, seeing his batting in the past or whatever? Yes, he can hit a couple of sixes or whatever. He can bat at 6 or 7, I feel.
Yeah, Dunit has the potential. So that's what I'm coming to. So yes, there is Dunit Velalage who has the potential. There is Ashen Bandara who can handle the pressure of the middle order, but I'm not sure if he can clear the boundary at field. Movin Subasinghe needs to work on a bit. So we have some potential options. Now what we can do is we can't expect these players to improve and get to that level. We just can't simply put them into matches and expect them to perform. And we can't just go and flop in World Cups again. We can't be ridiculed by the cricketing community by playing Ashen Bandara or even Dunit Velalage still at number 5. What Sri Lanka cricket needs to do is they need to invest more on players with potential who can bat at this point, at this position, 5, 6, 7. And also maybe identify top order players who can adapt to these positions. Charith Asalanga is a really good example. So he's a top order batter, but now he bats at number 5. He has adapted, but yes, he's having a rough phase. But he has played some really good innings. He's kind of adapting. And even in the second T20, he played a couple of sixes, so he showed that he's adapting very well. So we need to identify these top order batters. I think Nuwani Fernando should be back to back in the middle order. He has the skill set, but he needs to put a lot of work. Pawan Ratnayaka, maybe, even though he's a top order batter, probably he can. Ahan Wickramasinghe just has the potential. Maybe all these players are top order batters, okay, and they've not still proven as proper quality middle order hitters. So we need to identify these players whom we can groom, and Sri Lanka cricket needs to invest, like work with them, play them in A-team cricket, the provincial cricket, and like give them more time in the middle order and groom players. Like players just won't happen. And the best, if you look at, I'll give you a good example of how India groomed Rohit Sharma. Like he was batting in the middle order, but they kind of took him to the top order. They groomed him, and they made one of the world's best limited overs openers out of him. who was limited over there. And back then, TM Dilshan transform. I mean, you can do this transformation, but you need to put in the work. And these current Sri Lankan players, they won't do these transformations by themselves. We need to put the coaches need to put in time. Sri Lankan cricket needs to create cricketers who can bat in different situations. We can't always pick the highest run scorers from LPL and make them bat in the middle order. So most of the time, the highest run scorers are all top order players who bat in the top 4. You can't expect them to come and bat in the middle order. Classic example is batting Dhananjay Silva at number 6 in the ODI World Cup last year. Right? He's a top order batter. He can't bat at number 6. Like, he doesn't have the power to do that. Yes, maybe in Test cricket, but not in ODI cricket. So we need to, invest, and we need to work with this. And let me also just finish my answer by talking about Chandimal and Kusal Janit Pereira. I think they could have been middle order legends for Sri Lanka if they were back to back in the middle order, because maybe they were back when they debuted Chandimal and Kusal Janit Pereira. I think they had enough middle order hitters. Tisara Pereira was there, Angelo Mathews was his peak, Vilindi Siriwardena was there, so we had enough middle order options. Maybe they just wanted to keep them in the top order. But I think looking at the skill sets, Chandimal could have been a middle order beast. His career went some way there. Kusal Janit Pereira could have been a middle order beast. They wanted him to always bat in the top order, even though we had a lot of other top order options. So we've never kind of planned players' positions. We've only picked players who top score in domestic tournaments, pick them and just create a batting order out of them. We need to be more role specific. We need to be way more role specific. We need to find players who have the potential to bat at these 5, 6, 7 roles, and we need to groom them. We need to work with them. And even the clubs are not concerned. LPL franchises are not concerned. That's not their job. That's not their job at all.
Yeah,
Sri Lanka, they want to win. Not selectors. Sri Lanka, the staff, coaching staff.
I mean, the selectors also have to take the responsibility of putting the middle order properly. Yeah,
100%. Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't have said not selectors, because they also have the responsibility. Them and the coaching staff together, they need to identify potential players for the missing places, and they need to groom. And it won't happen in one night for sure. They'll have to take the time, and they need to they need to prepare a lot of options, because preparing one batter for one position is disastrous. Because if he gets injured, if he goes through a lean patch, we'll run out of options. We'll have to have options, at least 3-4 options for a particular position. So if it's openers, we need to have around 8 options, solid options. If it's number 5, 6, 7, we'll need to have around 9, 10 solid options to bat at number 5, 6, 7, which is probably the most crucial positions for Sri Lanka at this point, because we have a lot of options for top order batting. So most of our highest run scorers in domestic cricket LPL are top order batters, but we find very, very little middle order batters who are properly designated to the role. Yes, Ashwin Bandar is there, but I don't think he can help.
What about Arachige, Sahan Arachige?
Again, same problem. Designated middle order batter, probably bats at 4 at most. 4, 5, 6 are his positions. Power, I'm not sure. Strike rate, so they need to work on it.
Yeah.
Even Janit Pereira needs to work.
Otherwise they'll have to bring in the ones who retired recently, Surudano, Tisara Pereira back into the team. That's the only other option that we have. If the current set can't, get into the power hitting range or whatever. There's no other option. I mean, there's no other solution if no one's performing. Otherwise, you have to expect Dunit Velalage to step up and play in the middle order. That's the only solution we have otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really great option, so they need to kind of do the grooming for him. He's a solid option for number 5, 6.
Yeah, I think that's why I feel after Chamindu, maybe Dunit can bat at 6 or something, because he has the power.
Not at this point. I don't think Dunit will succeed if he gets a go in Sri Lanka. They need to do it in domestic. Make him bat at number 5, 6, 7. When he plays for his club, when he plays NSL, when he plays LPL. I mean, that's where they need to be groomed. I mean, you can't just push him and ask him to bat at number 5 for Sri Lanka right away. That's never going to happen. Yes, he can bat, but I don't think he'll have this power to clear the boundaries. Chamindu at this point, since he has proven in LPL, so of course after Dasun, even Chamindu is still young, they've got no other option. They had to call. They had to pick Chamindu, and I don't know. When we play our next T20, I hope he gets to bat at number 6, which I think he was supposed to bat at number 6 in this game as well. But we just went with a very interesting batting order.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, Chamindu is there at the position, but it's still we need to put in a lot of work.